What about Alex Jones's trial going on? You know, let's not speculate about what's in whose safe. I mean, somebody's laundry is out to air.
Okay, but I got a question about that.
Due.
Let's talk about Alex Jones. Listen, the guy's a nutbag. Okay, we get that. And he's a conspiracy theorist and all this bullshit.
A what? Can we do that one more time?
That one didn't come out very well, did it? Yeah, that was my Donald Duck impression.
That's all, folks.
I don't even think they can fix that in
I don't
post.
think they can fix that in post. Yeah, there's no way.
I think that he's, right up there. He's just one of those people that he's controversial and has a big following and brainwashed a lot of people. But saying that such a morally, I guess that's what it is across the board. It's
the
just
man is morally bankrupt.
Shit, you know what I mean? Just cruel.
Shine me up
on
for that.
some level.
I think it's like, in that perspective, it's really similar to what you were saying, Troy, about Tate, right?
Yep.
We've accepted the presence of these people, and in some degrees, like, there are certainly folks who
There's
subscribe
always going
to
to be
that.
a piece of shit in the room.
Yeah. Now, Hammer, what you're saying about them being sued or not, I think that there's, clearly a quantifiable way that courts have recognized, legal minds have recognized that, yeah, these are actually the damages that you've done based on the assaults, threats, yada, of everything that folks have had based on the things that you've been advocating for. So that's where it takes like a different turn, right? Tate hasn't really gone to that degree, right?
He hasn't said that, that nobody actually killed your children. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
Yeah.
But
guys, wait a minute.
Quantify that? I mean, like,
You can't. This is.
It's going to set a whole
freedom of
precedence
speech,
with
guys.
the court system now.
As long as you're not screaming fire in a fucking movie theater, it's freedom of speech.
Red flag.
Just because I tell you that, Troy is a lesbian transvestite with no dick, and I don't even know if he's got any legs.
It's true.
Now, it's all true that the guy's got.
Telling
You can
the
see he's
truth.
got legs, right? The rest of it might be true
I
too.
got 3 legs, bitch.
But it's me just ranting and saying stupid shit. It's your fault for believing that crap, I think.
Well,
I mean, it's just,
but in today's society, these younger folks, they don't know what to believe, so
That's
they will
true.
take that shit in. Oh, I believe this. Oh, okay, I like Johnny, so I
like I said,
believe it.
impressionable, moldable.
Extremely.
And in this
Yeah.
situation, we definitely can't just say it's the younger folks doing it. Because
It's not. It's
No,
not.
exactly.
It's
No,
absolutely
you're right.
not.
No,
I mean,
it's not.
I
You're
think
There's people.
well, we
in this
want to
room that are
blame the
impressionable.
younger people for everything.
People
Okay,
are
do you
very.
mind?
I'm right here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a cult mentality. I mean, I think most people can be moldable. You know what I mean? Like at some point, you hone in on, like, manipulative people hone in on people's
Sure.
weaknesses, and eventually they'll get them. You
Like
know, I
David
mean, even
Koresh,
like
right?
the strongest minds in the room can, also be taken down
Absolutely.
by somebody that is not necessarily smarter than you, but more manipulative.
James Jones, David Koresh, Jim Jones. I mean, those
Don't
guys.
drink the
I mean-
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
they
there's
had
a lot
hundreds
of.
of
I mean,
people.
obviously, there's a lot of
Yeah, there is.
cult leaders.
And they didn't have the platform you have now.
Right.
They had, a cameraman would show up from a news station.
Okay, but
and he'd have a
let's
couple
talk
shots,
about
but-
this. You're watching CNN, MSNBC, Fox. They're all spewing the same shit. Okay?
But they
Right.
spin it. They all
They
spin
all
it their
spin
way.
it
they
a
wanna
different
spin
way,
it.
but it's
Exactly.
all bullshit. I mean, none of those organizations tell the truth all the time,
Right.
or even a fraction of a second of any minute.
I give everything a grain of salt,
Yeah.
and try to find, minor details in there that
Well-
that ring true.
But the minor details are the ones that you believe, right? Or the one you want to believe, right? So that's
Think
still
about
could
how
be-
many guys
no,
out
not
there
necessarily.
like this Alex Jones. You've got the Bill Maher's. You've got all these idiots out there spewing
I
their.
like Bill Maher.
Of course you do. Spewing their bullshit, and it's
hilarious.
I would bet you, if you fact check anybody, don't fact check us because we will be screwed. But if you fact check any of these cats, they're all going to come up with Pinocchios, big time.
Well, it's changing the society, right? The world that you and I grew up in, Hammer, certainly is different, right?
Right.
And it's going to continue to be different based
Right.
on how we distribute information, whether it be false, true, funny, sad, whatever it is. It's all out there. It's all has its spin, and it's going to change the way we proceed as human beings. Really, I mean, it really is. I mean, even to how we speak, right? I mean, the language we learned in school, we're talking about teachers, is very different today than it was even 40 years ago.
Well, let's think
changed.
about this. Let's take a really simple story, okay? you were talking about JFK earlier, right? We all agree the guy got shot in the head, right?
We'd all agree with that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where the agreement stops.
I
All
agree
right.
with. See, that's what I think. That's
I
what
mean,
Brandy's
yeah,
saying.
I think
I'll
everyone has
agree.
a different version. You just you follow the details that are factual.
Well, you saw the
obvious.
the
That
brain cap fly off and the
Yeah.
gray matter come out. You got shot in the head.
Yeah, guy got shot in the head. But that's where it all ends, because anybody that's smart, that has done their research, that knows history, knows that the Kennedys were in bed with a certain group of people, and when they decided not to follow through on what they said that they were going to do,
Out of New Jersey.
yeah, they got a cap in the ass, right? So
Look
it's
at Lake
funny.
Mead, right? Lake Mead is starting to come up with all these
Lake
barrels
Mead, I forgot
full of
about
people.
that.
Seriously,
because it's
yeah.
all drying up. They keep finding bodies.
And two of them have been.
exactly.
I mean, they
two
always
have been in
made those
barrels.
jokes about bodies in the desert in Las Vegas, but I mean, it's
Well,
a,
no,
it's
but
a fucking thing.
Let me tell you something. If you throw a barrel in Lake Mead and these guys find out about it, now they're going to cap you because you were lazy and didn't bury the
Well,
motherfucker
see,
in the
there's a
desert.
point about that. There's a mob museum in Vegas that I've been to. It's pretty
I've been,
cool.
It is
yeah.
cool.
They talked to the head of the president or whatever of that mob thing, and they're saying, "Are these mob hits?" And the guy's like, probably not, because they don't throw bodies that close to where they operate.
Nope.
Vegas is a destination for tourism. You don't want to fuck that up by having bodies sitting out there.
Right.
But then he says, however, when you jam them in a barrel with holes in it, you put it out there, that's a mob hit, So, like you said, somebody's going to get in trouble for that
Yeah.
shit, right? How is that goddamn lake going to fill back up? I mean, is it ever going to come back?
It's a
Lake
man-made
Mead?
lake. But it's.
I'm
you
familiar
know,
with
I
that.
mean,
It's from the Colorado
hose
River.
in there. and see
I
what
understand all of
happens.
that, but is it ever going to fill back up? I mean, I don't see any big deluge coming
Yeah,
anytime
we do
soon.
need that river to fill back up for the lake
Yeah.
to fill back up.
Well, that river supplies water for crops.
called
and
rain.
Humans to drink for
Actually-
3 states or some shit.
Yeah.
It's more than that. And
Yeah, that
plus,
is
but
right.
do you know what Vegas sits on?
Dead bodies, apparently.
Vegas sits on one of the biggest
fault lines.
water masses,
An
Aquifer. It's called.
aquifer, and
Yeah.
period.
So are we. We're sitting
Yeah.
on top of one of the biggest ones in the nation.
Yeah.
And that's why Orange County doesn't have to rely on the Colorado River.
Rainwater isn't going to refill rivers and lakes
Right.
in the west, though.
Snowpack.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need glaciers and recurring building.
That's
and
it. We need to
growing.
melt the glaciers. So let's
It's
let's
already
support
happening.
global warming so we can fill Lake Mead so I can go water skiing.
I thought we were supporting it.
Jesus.